On October 24, 2022, one man reigned over the crypto industry with a total net worth of $26 billion. The next day, it was gone. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Fiji, and this is Sam Bankman.
My job is to make sure that we do the right things at the end of the day, one way or another. If you want to maximize the amount of good you do, maximize the positive impact that you can have on the world, what does that imply? What does that mean you should do with your life? I don't think I give a shit about my legacy. That's not what matters. Like, obviously, it's sort of part of me would love my legacy to be, generically positive, but in the end, it's the mark that we actually leave on the world, not the mark we're perceived to leave on the world that matters.
Welcome to the story of Sam Bankman, 30 years young and the CEO of crypto company FTX, better known as the biggest liar and scammer of our generation, and named by Forbes the nerd in devil clothes. Now you may be wondering how one man could lose $26 billion in just 24 hours.
And it's gone.
Allow me to explain. To capture the magnitude of how drastic this day was for Sam, we have to set the tone. A crypto service by the name of FTX was started in the Bahamas in May 2019. But this wasn't your typical crypto exchange. FTX was designed for greatness. Founded by one man and a romantically involved group of students, similar to Binance and DAX, FTX was used to buy and sell cryptocurrency. And only 2 years after startup, July 2021, FTX had over 1 million users and was the third largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. Well, at least it was. Let's begin. This is Sam Bankman, and the story starts with him. He was born in 1992 in California, child to two successful parents, with his mother Barbara being a lawyer and his father Joseph being a law professor, who would soon take an interest in Sam's passion. This same interest would ultimately help fund what would soon turn out to be his son's awaited demise. In 2014, Sam graduated from MIT, and quickly after that, he would move forward to work at James Street Capital, a New York trading firm. It was at this moment, similar to the movies like Wolf of Wall Street, Sam realized he hit the jackpot. He learned how to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. Now, how much money are we talking? 2014, 2015 alone, Sam would start moving up to $25 million in just one day. He was buying Bitcoin for a cheaper price in the US. Then he would take his purchases and sell them for a higher price in Japan. And with his first taste of real money, he began wanting more. He took the money he was making from his trades and started his first business firm called Alameda Research. Alameda would be at the pinnacle of what is to become the biggest public financial crash of this decade, consisting of Sam Bankman at the center and, quote, a couple of romantically involved kids he met along the way to assist him in his venture. Now, Sam didn't start off bad though. Sam was on a mission. Some would say he was a visionary, a genius. Sam, in his words, would say he wanted to figure out what he could do with his life to have as much as a positive impact on the world as possible. Then he went on to do the opposite. But wait, who is Sam? To change the world, he needed an image. You see, he may not look like your typical billionaire, but this was done on purpose and was all part of the plan. Sam found his purpose in life, and it was to make as much money as possible. But he couldn't do this alone. To start his company, he needed financial support. And to get this, he needed to build trust. But not just anyone is capable of earning the trust of over 1 million people all over the world. But in this case, Sam was. Unlike your typical billionaire, Sam wasn't about the flashy cars or flashy clothes. As a matter of fact, his brand was to be the exact opposite. Sam wanted to be seen as a normal person like me and you, choosing to drive a Toyota, wear regular clothes, and even stated he lived in a cramped apartment with his co-workers at Alameda. But this was far from the truth. The truth was, he was a billionaire and spent his days off camera in a $30 million mansion in the Bahamas. But even the regular guy image wasn't enough to earn the trust of everyone he needed. But this didn't stop Sam. Sam had a dream, and he had to sell it. He wanted to change the world.
In less than 5 years, Sam Bankman-Fried went from buying his first Bitcoin to becoming a crypto billionaire. Many times over, and he's just 30 years old. Sam will tell you he's always wanted to get rich, but not for the reasons you might expect. All that money, he plans to give most of it away to charity. Do you have a sense of how much he's given away so far?
It's a bit north of 100 million so far this year.
$100 million to charity. A hero. Finally, a rich man giving away his hard-earned funds out of the goodness of his heart. This became Sam's image. The most giving billionaire on the planet. He would give away hundreds of millions to charity every chance he got. But at the same time, he was pocketing billions of dollars in secret, hidden away from everyone. And the money that he was hiding didn't belong to him. But Sam Bankman couldn't do this alone. No. He had a few friends. One of them, by the name of Caroline Ellison, and also girlfriend of Sam Bankman. Sam met Caroline back in New York at his old trading firm. Rewind back to 2017. Sam was on the verge of a breakthrough. Caroline, along with 8 other friends at Alameda, didn't know what they wanted to do with their lives. But Sam had the answer. Destined to go on and become the CEO of a future multi-billion-dollar company, this all would be quite new for 28-year-old Caroline, as she had very little to no experience in running a business firm. From the beginning, there was a number of red flags that could tell us this was a setup for disaster. But that did not stop Sam's vision. The money he had wasn't enough to get the business off the ground. He needed investors. Entities like SoftBank, Ontario Teachers Pension Plan, Sequoia, if that's how you say it, all took an interest to Sam. And when the trust gaining was all done, Sam managed to walk away with $2 billion from investors, just for him and his 9 friends to get started. But why trust Sam? The writers at Forbes said it was simple. FOMO. Fear of missing out. Talk to me for a moment. Have you ever been at home while your friends and family are out somewhere and you felt like you had to go or else you'd miss these memories? Have you ever been outside and wish you could get back to the comfort of your own room because the comfort means everything? For me, that's every day. But less about me. In the terms of business, FOMO in other words means I cannot miss this opportunity. And if the said opportunity was to make possible billions of dollars, you may have taken it too. Billions? Oh my god, bro. Now this is not the first time this has happened in history. Corporations like Theranos, a private American health tech company, was able to amass up to $4.5 billion from investors in its time, but the emphasis is on was. Theranos is no more, but jail is. Woo! Now back to Sam's business firm. Alameda was said to be run by a quote, group of kids in the Bahamas who all dated each other. To go into detail, these 10 individuals are friends, spent time together, even lived together, and were all in charge of running the firm. Like the quote says, they dated in the past, they had romantic relationships. Not too common in the business space. But who are we to judge? As long as the business is thriving, you can do what you want, right? These 10 people all met during Sam's time in New York and stayed with him for the journey. Now it's 2019, the year that FTX was born. FTX was the new sensation, backed up by investors like NFL star Tom Brady, supermodel Giselle Bündchen. The Miami Heat played games in their brand new FTX sports arena, and there were even Super Bowl ads run for FTX.
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so.
One Super Bowl ad for 30 seconds alone cost between 5 to 6 million USD. But that was nothing for Sam. Sam managed to build a reputation for himself, being known as the Crypto White Knight, giving insane amounts of money to charities, offering loans to companies for hundreds of millions of dollars to help during down periods. To the world, Sam was looked at like a hero. And when the world needed him the most, he always seemed to be right there, ready to help and ready to save the day. Now let's dive in. FTX is known as a crypto exchange company. This is a place where you trade and export cryptocurrencies, but not for free, of course. Sam still had to get paid. FTX was one of the only exchanges to offer a discount to clients who stored their money in a token called FTT. Remember this, because this FTT token was the same one created by FTX that caused the major crash and crypto soon to come. Now we know what FTX is, but how did the Alameda business firm play a role? Filled with empty promises of annual 15% fixed rate returns and more things that sounded beyond too good to be true. Alameda was a crypto hedge fund that traded, price matched buyers and sellers, and would ensure all their investors will get a return on all their money. Impossible. November 13, 2022, Alameda received a random $10 billion. From where? Well, from FTX, of course. But there's a catch. Keep in mind, FTX and Alameda are both owned and run by Sam Bankman, but the $10 billion wasn't his. It actually belonged to the clients of FTX. Now let's take a moment to acknowledge something very obscure. Why would a money exchange be taking customer funds and moving them around into their own accounts for personal gain? This would be equivalent to going to the bank just to look at your savings account, and instead of seeing $1,000 you have left in there, it was gone. And when you ask who took it, the bank says, "We did it, but didn't think you would find out." Now, I've never run a bank before, but there's gotta be some sort of illegal and overall morally incorrect. It was noted that Sam was indeed taking customer money from the FTX exchange. What was he doing with it? One word: gambling, as he felt fit. That's 5 words. But this action didn't go unnoticed. It was at this moment FTX was in trouble. Sam started FTX originally to cater to customers who weren't too familiar with crypto, people wanting a way into the crypto space and a better way to exchange and store their money. Sam and FTX were supposed to be for the people, a hero. He was the billionaire savior, but it was the people who suffered the most. Quickly, money became a game to Sam. With all the success, he started gambling, making massive exchanges to hope he would win big for massive profits, but he would lose. In the game of money, and in the game of life. But this didn't matter. Investors still came to him. They wanted Sam. And it's even noted that during a conference call to invest in FTX worth $210 million, Sam was found playing the video game League of Legends during this call. Yet, still managed to secure the trade and the trust of the investors. They loved him. They really did. This money was never to be seen again. But the world still loved Sam. Well, the world may have, but there were people who didn't. In the workplace, Sam was king, and anyone who opposed him would be immediately fired and have their position terminated by CEO of HR, Sam's friend and former roommate Claire. But it didn't stop here. This was actually just the beginning. With crypto taking off like never before, FTX was reported to be averaging $10 billion a day in trading volume across its 1 million users. Sam had made it big. He is now the multi-billionaire he dreamed of being. Now on the cover of Forbes, Fortune. With this newfound money also came popularity, having stadiums named after FTX, partnerships with the Golden State Warriors, and their now own NBA stadium. FTX was in the middle of everything crypto, and Sam had gained everyone's trust. Heck, even football star Tom Brady was alleged to have put $650 million of his own money into FTX himself. Sam was at the top of the world with a net worth of now $26 billion. There was nothing that could stop him, except, I know y'all saw this coming, a man by the name of Changpeng Zhao, better known as CZ. Just when Sam thought he had everything won, there was someone right beside him watching every move, and CZ thought it was almost time to make his. Now who is CZ, you may ask? Who can stop a man worth $26 billion? CZ's net worth, $33 billion. Also known as the CEO of Binance. Oh, this got interesting. The pot is stirred. Binance is known as the world's largest crypto exchange, and its co-founder CZ will eventually have something to say about Sam. But he patiently waited for the right time and watched behind the scenes as Sam destroyed his own career. 2021. Inflation began to rise in the US, investment rates went down as the interest rates went up, which means people need more money. Crypto firms began to go under, and like before, Sam was right there to save the day and bail out everyone he could. He did this by purchasing the crypto these companies had left, giving them the money in return, and in the meantime, he was still gambling and tried to make as much money as possible with FTX customer money. Because he thought, as a successful billionaire, money was nothing. Sam lost and gave away as much as he wanted, and still had plenty to spare. Mentally untouchable. At least, that's what he thought. During this time, while all the companies were going down, Alameda was no different. They were too. But Sam couldn't let this happen. Now what he did was never seen before in the history of the world. But Sam secretly transferred $4 billion of FTX funds into Alameda, but he tried to announce it in a way that no one would think it was suspicious. Heads up, rotating a few FTX wallets today, mostly non-circulating. We do this periodically. Might be a few more coming. Won't have any effect. Periodically stands for I've taken your money before. Here we go again. The end of Sam Bankman. Sam thought he was invincible, but the trust he built wasn't. You see, Sam, people are smarter than you think. If $100 went missing from my wallet, I would say something. But what if, instead of $100, it was $4 billion? Because of the sudden transfers and tweets from Sam, people began to become suspicious. Why, Fiji, you may ask? Sam didn't just transfer $4 billion. He did it right in front of everyone's eyes in a very dishonest way. This trade was the largest transfer of tokens on an exchange in the history of crypto, and to top it off, it wasn't rotated through FTX like he said. It was sent to a different wallet, an unknown wallet. It was sent to Alameda. Keep in mind, this money does not belong to him, but apparently he didn't tell anyone this. He was lying and wanted to keep it a secret. But while Sam was doing his best to keep a secret in the dark, his other team members were having a hard time. Caroline, Sam's girlfriend, was quoted on a call saying FTX used customer money to help Alameda meet its liabilities. Hey Caroline, say hello to prison, cause you just committed a crime. This was a big no-no. Boom, we got him, said the world. Headlines: Scam of the century, cryptocurrency and the collapse of FTX. FTX bought Bahamas properties worth $300 million. Why did FTX collapse? What does crypto look like after FTX? The FTX crypto bubble really is the worst of its kind. A Reddit user by the name of It's Hens was one of many who had the same reaction. What's going on within the crypto exchange FTX? I keep seeing posts on Twitter where they apparently stole a bunch of money. November 2nd. 2022. The truth begins to unfold. Ooh, Sam is in for it now. Divisions in Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto empire blur on his trading titan Alameda balance sheet. This headline caught my attention in particular. Alameda had $14.6 billion of assets as of June 30th, but it is noted that much of it is in FTT token, the coin made by FTX. Now, Sam didn't just transfer $4 billion. It was $4 billion in FTT token, the token that Sam made himself. Now this doesn't seem to be a problem, except for the fact that this money is not real. This currency was made up, produced by Sam and his friend, and was given value through Sam's constant FTX support system and business. But if there was no more support system and no more FTX, what would it be worth? Absolutely nothing. The financial stability of FTX was now in question, and this created a perfect opportunity for Binance CEO CZ, aka Sam's rival, to make his move. Now Sam and CZ were friends. When Sam started FTX, CZ bought 20% of the exchange for $100 million, which later Sam bought back for $2 billion. But what did Sam pay CZ with to get back the 20% of his exchange? You guessed it, $2 billion. In FTT, Sam's made-up currency. CZ has now been scammed. Now Sam, I know you was rich, but a man worth $33 billion? That may not be someone you wanted to mess with. And with FTX now in trouble, everyone in the crypto market who invested anything into this coin started to take a hit. And CZ in particular was not very happy about this, not at all. I mean, well, in the midst of losing $2 billion and having a chance to take down the guy who made you lose it, who's also your main competitor, CZ was ready to make his move. One tweet is what ended this all. November 6, 2022. This is a day Sam will remember forever. CZ posts on Twitter that he will be dumping the $2.1 billion in FTT he owns because of recent revelations that have came to light. Let's break this down. Picture we have 10 loaves of bread. These 10 loaves have to feed 10 people. If someone decides to take 2 loaves of bread and just throws them out for no reason, we are now left with the same 10 people, but just 8 loaves of bread. The battle for survival begins. As a human, our natural instinct is to survive, scavenge, and see what we can get before it's all gone. But now picture these 10 people fighting for food, and then scale it up to hundreds of thousands fighting for money. But hold on, Sam is human too. November 7, 2022, he tweets, "A competitor is trying to go after us with false rumors. FTX is fine, assets are fine," when this was indeed far from the truth. In just a short time, giant withdrawals happened left and right. People were trying to scavenge what they could everywhere all around the world. Total withdrawals, $6 billion. And just 2 days later, another $9 billion. And it just so happened, FTX did not have enough money left to pay the withdrawals that were happening so rapidly. Was it because Sam took everyone's money and stored it somewhere else? In an act of desperation, Caroline, Sam's girlfriend, tweeted at CZ, "If you're looking to minimize the market impact on your FTT sales, Alameda will be happy to buy it all from you today." Looking to buy all the FTT Binance was about to dump, but CZ was not interested. In his words, he said, "We won't pretend to make love after divorce." He is dumping this money, and he will not support people who lobby against other industry players behind their back. Good luck, Caroline. But we ain't done. Next up, it was Sam's turn. His last act of desperation. He called CZ and offered his whole company for sale in order to save what he had left. Sam wanted CZ to now buy FTX and buy it under Binance. So CZ agreed, strengthening the image and resolve of the Binance brand. Crypto clients had hope, but CZ then went on to state that FTX was in trouble. But he bought them to save them. But this wasn't done just cause. CZ was looking to put the final nail in the coffin of FTX. Just 2 days after announcing Binance will buy FTX, CZ made the choice to back out.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
Which means no more FTX rescue, leaving FTX to burn and crumble on their own. But why though? It was said that Binance had a chance to look through FTX's database and found nothing but chaos. Remember when I said FTX didn't even have enough funds left to pay the people who wanted to withdraw? On top of that, FTX was $8 billion short from where it was predicted to be. In other words, the customer money that was transferred to Alameda to help them stay afloat disappeared into thin air, never to be seen again. November 11, 2022, Sam resigns from FTX. Conclusion: bankruptcy. Because of FTX, in the crypto space, over $152 billion was lost because of everything that transpired. And as for Sam, he apologized, but the damage was done. FTX was no more, and Alameda was nowhere in sight. And as for Sam, he had the police to answer to. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to investing, be careful. Nothing is ever 100%. But most importantly, if you're going to invest, look for someone you can trust. And once you find that person, look again. I'm Fiji. Until next time, later days.